Sawadika. Today I'm recording in the car. I'm trying to find some new spots. There's like a little beachy area near our house, like the sea right there and stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure it's people's back gardens because I went to go out there and they were like, it's just behind two houses. Had a really nice morning. My boyfriend and I went to the Big Buddha temple, which is actually really near us. There are some more like walking routes near here as well, which I like, and it's not as hilly because we used to be at the top of the hill. Now we're like flat ground, and we're really near our Muay Thai gym. Those are my birthday balloons, which we have yet to take out of the car since moving to another place. I'll show you our place actually from the outside after, but I miss having like topic of direction to talk about, so today I thought I'm gonna waffle about Bali and how I got a job in Bali. It was a pretty fucked up experience, to be honest. Like, I was living the dream, but also it was just terrible, genuinely terrible, but this is due to circumstance. So basically, let's start from the very beginning of how I got to Bali. I was in South Africa and I was living and working and stuff in South Africa. I wasn't really making nearly enough money to get by, and my savings were running out. And to be honest, South Africa for me is a very party heavy place because it's where my cousin goes to university in Stellenbosch, and it is fucking brilliant and I love it and I miss it, but it is hard to maintain a lifestyle that I want to maintain there, like a healthier lifestyle. I completely lose myself every time I go, I'll be so honest. So it's fun temporarily, definitely very fun temporarily. And yeah, by the end of it, I knew I needed something else. As sad as it was and I wanted to stay, I knew I needed something else. So basically, all I did was I went on Instagram, and you know, I really enjoy Muay Thai, I enjoy fitness. I basically messaged every single Muay Thai gym in Thailand, Bali, Cambodia, all of Southeast Asia. I was ready for Asia again, and I just asked every single one if they had, I actually said volunteer work in exchange for accommodation. That is literally it. The one that got back to me was in Uluwatu, Bali, a really nice location and a very big chain. It's a very, very well-known Muay Thai gym. So at first I was like, this is a scam. They were very keen. They were like, yeah, we've been looking for someone to do our social media and stuff like that, and the reception, and yeah, they were like, when can you come out? Like, can you come out as soon as possible? I was like, fuck, okay, this kind of come out of nowhere. And this is also evidence of, if you don't ask, you don't get. Like, you can't just wait for opportunities to come to you. All I did was send out a text message to all these places, but it's because I had a goal in mind and I knew what I wanted. And yeah, I'm not saying it was all sunshine and rainbows in the end, but I got this offer. And it was a paid role as well. Very low wage, but for Bali, you can definitely get by. They were also supplying free accommodation, free training. So for me, I was like, simple life, this is it. I think it was like a 6 month contract or something like that. So I was kind of like in the deep end here. I was like, fuck it, let's just do it. I had a few calls online with the owner and stuff like that. The owners, should I say. And I was like, oh my God, this seems incredible. So 1 to 2 weeks later, I hop on a flight from South Africa to Bali. I say a flight, it was like a 50-hour journey with like 3 or 4 stopovers, I'm not too sure. A night in Bahrain. It was a long journey, but if you're a budget traveller, you know you go on Skyscanner low to high and you get the cheapest flight possible. So I arrived in Bali and I arrived late. I thought I lost my luggage. There was a bit of a shit start. It was raining and I was like, it was very overwhelming. I was like, fuck, I've just really done this. Like, I was pretty cushy living in South Africa, doing mushrooms all the time and going out every night and like with a big group that I absolutely adored. I was very cushy and I was like, wow, okay. This was scary. I think I started work literally the next day, got my uniform. For the first week, I was in heaven. I was like, this is fucking crazy. My shifts were pretty bad, by the way. So the morning shifts, I'm pretty sure, started at 6 and finished at 2. And the evening shifts will start at 2, finish at 8. Sorry, or something like this. But obviously I had my morning routine. I'd wake up at like 4:30 in the mornings, do my morning routine, get to work. Like, it was hard work. So I actually quite enjoyed the morning shifts because I go get that done, and then I had the rest of the day to go to the beach, to relax. And I actually enjoyed being at work. I was in a Muay Thai gym and I was where I wanted to be. The work itself was actually quite hard. It was actually constant, 24/7. There was something to do because I was doing all of their social medias, so it was constantly, every single class that happened I had to take content for and upload content for every single class. And then obviously manage the reception, so everyone that's coming in, taking payments, selling things, doing this, doing that, and it was just it was stressful. And then the girl that took over, there was 2 of us receptionists, obviously, one morning, one evening. I was the only one doing social media, so even if I finished at 2 o'clock, I was still expected to post for the rest of the evening classes and ask people to send me videos. And like, it was, yeah, by the end of it, it felt like a 24-hour job, because it was. If my boss texted me, I had to respond. And basically, you know, like I said, the first week, incredible. Second week, I was starting to get a bit drained, and I was like, right. And my boss started really showing his true colours pretty quickly. I saw him speak to other people like absolute shit, and I was like, oh my god, he doesn't speak to me like this. Like, thank God. Let's keep it how it is. So I would be stepping on absolute eggshells around him, trying not to piss him off, because if you pissed him off, you pissed him off. And I'm not even like, everybody's probably had a bad boss. This wasn't just a bad boss, this was like fucking terrifying. And I'm a solo girl in another country, and I'm very dependent upon these people. I got very close with my boss and his family. He'd take me to like days out with his family, but it was always very like, it was always like an exchange. Like, he'd take me for a day out, and then, you know, the next day at work, he was asking me to do this. He's like, yeah, but I took you out, I got you this, I paid for your accommodation, I brought you here. And it was like, yeah, I don't know how to explain the situation, because genuinely, in my memory, I've completely blocked it out. Like, I can't believe I was in this situation. It got so much worse. I don't even remember the things he would say to me. It was just narcissistic, manipulative, like psychotic, honestly. My friend came out to visit me. Thank God, this was pivotal for me. My best friend Tilly came out to visit me for like 2 weeks, I think, and while she came out, I quit. When I joined, I had this manager who, to be honest, I thought she was a bit of a bitch. She was very harsh, but she was harsh on me because he was harsh on her. So basically, we'd have to be up to scratch, otherwise she would get the end of it, and I didn't realise that at the time. And one day, she didn't show up for work. My manager ran away, like genuinely ran away, because she also lived with him. He funded everything for her. She fucking got up and left, and I'm pretty sure she stole money from the gym. And that was when I was really questioning things like, what the fuck is going on here? On another thing, all of the Muay Thai coaches, right, they were flown over from Thailand, and they'd be on a contract, they'd do their time, and then they'd swap with some other Muay Thai coaches. Every single one of them broke the contract. Every single one of them ran away back to Thailand and left early. And this just emphasises how crazy this guy is, because I can't even give examples of what he would do, what he would say. Not only did the other receptionists leave, but all the cleaning staff, who I absolutely loved. By the end of it, the only people that were keeping me there were the cleaning staff, the Balinese cleaning staff, and their family and stuff. They had this daughter who was 3 or 4 years old, the cutest little soul in the entire world, and she would make my day every time. I'd come in, the moment I got there at 6 a.m, she was there running around, we'd play all day, and then fucking Big Boss would come in and say that I'm not allowed to play with her because it's unprofessional. And that's kind of when I knew, like, this isn't the happy family environment that he portrayed. It was a very toxic, very restrictive, very controlled environment where you get belittled and you get made to feel insane sometimes. Like, sorry, it keeps getting far too hot. Yeah, I don't remember the ins and outs of it. I completely blocked this out. I'd call my mum crying, like, most days, just like, I can't do this anymore. And she's like, why are you doing it then? And I was like, that's so true. So again, I reached a point where I was like, I know I need something else. I know I need to get out of this toxic environment. My friend was with me, so that was a big advantage at the time. She was only there for 2 weeks, and I think it was in the second week I was like, right, I'm gonna do it. Obviously she was telling me every day, just fucking leave, and that's exactly what I would say to anybody else in that position as well. Just get out. Like, it isn't that hard. But when you want something so bad, and I thought it was meant for me, it was just, yeah, it was quite sad. I needed to move on, but I didn't want to leave Bali. So my next idea was hostels, volunteering at hostels for free accommodation. I still had very, very, very minimal savings in my bank account. But a lot of hostel work, basically you volunteer and you get free accommodation, free food, free everything, so you're pretty much funded to live. And spending money wasn't fussed about. I just wanted to be in Bali. So on the second week when my friend was there, I told my boss I'm going. I said to him, basically, I've been given a much better opportunity in Ubud. My friend up there is giving me a job and getting paid double. Like I couldn't turn this down. I'd be silly to turn this down. And he didn't take it that badly. Yeah, I messaged loads of hostels again on Instagram, sent out a big paragraph to loads, got tons of responses, and now I was kind of free to go wherever I wanted in Bali. I could stay in Uluwatu, I could go to Canggu, but I didn't really want to go to Canggu because it's party. I could go up to Ubud, which was like the spiritual place, and I was like, I need Ubud. I need Ubud right now. I'm not in the mood to go out every fucking night in Canggu. I don't want a party hostel. I want something fucking to cleanse my soul after this experience. I've had to completely move location because the car was getting far too hot and it just turned off every 5 seconds. I hope this is alright just for like the last 5 minutes or while I talk. This is outside the house, by the way. Very cute, very cute. Basically, my friend and I, we relocated. I found this hostel. I'm not going to name the name again, but honestly I adored it. I've got nothing bad to say about it. And yeah, we went up to Ubud. We got a taxi and yeah, honestly, from the moment I entered Ubud, I was like, this is it. This is where I'm meant to be. Jungles, waterfalls, spiritual, peaceful, like everything about it. Oh, was so good. So, we checked into this hostel, and honestly, the entire experience, I thought this was too good to be true. Nothing proved that it was too good to be true. It was just a very fucking good experience. You know, in this environment, I wasn't making any money, but I was... Basically, my role at this hostel was to show up to family dinners and get people talking. Now, I'm not a very confident social person myself, so I was actually really nervous to do this, and my friend was only with me for a few days and then she left. And you're meeting travellers again, you're meeting like-minded people similar ages, and it was just like, it's exactly what I needed. And on top of this, not only was the job itself so good, like literally, like I said, all you have to do is show up to family dinners, plan some events, but they weren't like proper drinky events or anything like that. It could be like, we did paint and sip night where we had a little bit of alcohol, but like we had arts and crafts on the tables at dinner and stuff like that. And I'd go to all of the organised tours and group things for free. And on top of this, right, again, this is what scared me. I showed up and I had this manager as well who managed all of the volunteers. Who managed all of the volunteers, and within 2 days of me working there, she left, got up and left with no explanation. I'm so done with using the camera, it's getting too hot. Basically, what was I saying? Yeah, no bad experiences. I did get special treatment. I basically there were like usually around 4 or 5 other volunteers at the time, and for some reason he upgraded my room to this private ensuite, like ridiculously nice, like luxury room in the hostel, which made my experience so different. Like I wasn't living in the dorms anymore. I had my own private space, and it was so nice. Like I'd wake up, I'd do the free yoga every single morning. I'd have the free breakfast, which was like smoothie bowls and shit. I'd socialise with people, go on like a little tour or something, or go to a waterfall, and then I'd come back and usually do the family dinner, or you have 2 days off a week off a family dinner where I would just go into my room and eat alone if I had no social battery. It was so simple. Like it was such a simple life. I did bits here and there for their social media, and by the end of it I started to manage the other volunteers as well, because I ended up being the one that was there for the longest, even though I was there for like 2 or 3 months. And yeah, that experience was insane. I would do that again. The special treatment, yes, it may be considered a little bit weird, but it got me so far. And I'm not going to complain. Like I had a private room and I was living the life. Also, what completely shifted my entire trip, because basically I didn't really have a plan. I was here and I was like, I'm either going to be here for a few months and go home at Christmas and come back, or the owner then offered me a role. He also was a big name in Bali. He owned clubs and beach restaurants and other hostels all over Bali, and he said he didn't want to run this one anymore and he wanted someone else to run it, and he was heavily asking me to take over. And I was like, right, this is a fucking big ask. This is like permanently moving out to Bali. This is now my business. Like, that is a big ask. Very, very much considering it until I met my boyfriend. It's actually a funny story. We met at one of the events that I made with the other volunteers. We did a speed dating event where we got like all the boys and girls from all the hostels in the area to come to speed dating, and it was very fun to run. And I wasn't actually supposed to be involved in the speed dating at all. I was kind of on the mic and like running it, but some of the other volunteers got involved a little bit, and I was like, Remy, do some. So I did some speed dates, one of them being with my boyfriend. Pretty much instantly he moved in with me into my little private room. I don't know if the owner was too happy about this, but he did book a hostel dorm as well, just so it was there. But yeah, he pretty much started living with me and staying with me, and he started he was like, what are your plans going to be? Because he was going to carry on traveling Asia as well. I was like, well, I might take this role and I might take over the hostel. And then he was like, why don't you just travel with me and film and edit all my videos? And I was like, that's suspicious. Like, it didn't sound right. I was like, because he makes money online. And I was like, surely this opportunity isn't actually being put in front of me right now. I was like, I don't believe you for a second. You know what boys are like when you travel and when you backpack. I'm getting ridden alive. I didn't believe, I didn't trust him, all of this. He went off to Canggu for a bit before his friend left. And then when his friend left, he came back and spent the rest of his entire trip there with me. And that's when I was like, okay, a little bit of dedication there. And yeah, he ended up, he went to Thailand after when I went home, and then he ended up surprising me at home, showing up to my house, which was pretty crazy. And then pretty much we've been travelling and living with each other ever since. But that was my experience in Bali and what I did. I wish I could go into more details, much I've probably waffled so much. There was so much more to it. Good and bad, honestly. Met so many amazing people though, and would not have changed it for the world. And all of this happened by taking a big leap. Like, that's all it is at the end of the day. It is taking the leap, going out there and figuring shit out. That's pretty much how I went to work and live in Bali for a few months. It was supposed to be for a lot longer. My trip was definitely cut short due to all different circumstances. You know, nothing is always sunshine and rainbows. Things don't live up to your expectations, and that's completely fine, but you just have to be okay with figuring your shit out when it does go to shit. Like, picking yourself back up, you know what I mean? And not just giving up and flying home straight away. Like, there is always more. There are so many options out there, so many opportunities. Just take them, look for them, ask. Yeah. Okay, that was my Bali story. That was a good few months ago, at the beginning of the year. It felt like fucking years ago. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.